What is going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and welcome back to part 3 and hopefully the final episode of the LTD Alexi 200 project. Just to catch you up a little bit, in the previous episode we had finally applied the green base coat and then we did the crackle. I absolutely love how it came out. It's a really good pattern. I was hoping it would be more aggressive, big cracks like it turned out, and the way I got that was just going a little heavy and have a thick base coat. All the things the can said to get that result. So came out really good. I absolutely love it. I just got my 2 cans of the 2K clear that we're going to use, and I don't really have too many concerns. The only maybe one concern I do have is obviously there is a big difference in the height between the black and the green. So we're going to have to make up that distance by spraying a lot of clear coat and then level sanding it. Probably going to try to use 1 whole can on the front and then save the last can for the back and to just final coats. And hopefully we can level sand it and get it perfectly flat. That is my goal. We have the headstock here too and all prepped, ready to go. But we're just going to blow this thing off, get it tack clothed, and then we're going to start clearing. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we got it all ready to go. Got the can shaken up. Now we're gonna go and put some clear on this thing. I'm gonna do a dust coat on the headstock first, then the body, and then I'll let that dry for a few minutes, and then we'll just start hammering it out. All right, guys, so it is a new day. I kind of noticed something, that I only bought 2 cans of the 2K clear, and the height difference between the green and the black is pretty significant. I went ahead and I already wet sanded the first couple coats of clear. We used 1 whole can. I only have 1 can left. Honestly, I should have bought 4 cans. We'll see what we have to do. Maybe I might have to order a couple more cans. Maybe not, but I wet sanded the headstock and the body. You could still feel a difference, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. So hopefully this next can will maybe even it out. I'm going to go a little heavier on the front than the back and the sides and stuff. I got the logo put on the headstock. We are using an ESP logo. I know it's an LTD, but whatever, ESP is cooler. And then we're gonna get this cleared over. I didn't want to film the wet sanding. There's really no need for it. You guys have seen that a million times. But we're gonna go ahead and prep this, blow it off, get it tack cloth, and then we'll get some new coats of clear on this thing and see where we end up. All right, well, it's a new day. Actually, a couple days have gone by. In the previous clips you saw where I explained we were going to do some more clear because the height difference between the green and the black, because of the crackle, was pretty significant. So it took a lot of wet sanding and a lot of coats of clear to get it to where it's pretty much leveled out. I thought the last 2 cans would be enough. Right now, I got it wet sanded to where it pretty much probably could be buffed and it would be fine. But I have a feeling that the clear is pretty thin. So what I want to do is get a couple more coats of clear on it. I bought 2 more cans just in case. It should only take 1, but we'll get the final coats of clear on it. It'll be perfectly leveled out. We will wet sand it and then buff that out, and then this thing will be ready to be assembled. I'm super excited. It's taken a lot longer than I expected, but I think the final product is going to be absolutely awesome. So let's go ahead once again and get this thing brushed off. I want to tack cloth it, blow it off, make sure there's no dust on it, and then we'll get the final coats of clear coat on it. All right, guys, well, finally, it's time to do the final level sanding and polish sanding and get this thing buffed out. Man, we got like 6 cans of clear on this thing. I really didn't think it would be that much, but it was a lot to be able to get this level with the crackle. Since the crackle's so big and coarse, obviously the peaks and valleys between the green and the black was pretty significant. So finally got it where it needs to be. I went ahead and did the back, most of the sides, and the front. I'm gonna hit it with 3000 again just to make sure it's start some more polish sanding. I have to do some more on the sides here and some more on this on the bottom here, and then we can start buffing. Figured I'll just show a little sanding. We're going to start at 400 and work our way up to 3000 grit sandpaper, and then we will start buffing this thing out. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right, well, level sanding's done, polish sanding's done. It's time to move on to buffing. For my buffer, I use just this small palm sander that I got from Harbor Freight. Works really good. It's not too aggressive. It is dual action, I believe. And yeah, I like this a lot more than using like a bench buffer or something like that. Again, it's just less prone to burning through, and I've had some great results with it. Yeah, you got to work a little harder and spend a little bit more time buffing, but there's nothing wrong with that. And then for compound, I've tried a bunch of different things. You'll probably be telling me I'm using the wrong stuff, but I'm using Meguiar's Mirror Glaze number 2. It's a professional fine cut cleaner, and it's about anywhere from light to mid cut. It's not too aggressive, but it's not too fine. Tried a bunch of different stuff, and that seems to be the best. Again, I'd rather work a little bit harder to get my good results than to risk burning through or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead and get buffing here. ladies and gentlemen, I'm super happy to say that this project is finally done, and let me tell you, I couldn't be happier with the way it turned out. It is absolutely perfect in my eyes. I really love how this turned out. Honestly, when I look at the paint job and the finish, it literally feels and looks like it came from the factory this way. I think it's one of my best finish jobs ever. I put a lot of effort into it between the wet sanding and, you know, I think it has about 6 cans of clear on it. It was like 4 to 5 coats of each can. And it just was a lot of work getting the crackle to level out just because there was such a height difference between the green and the black. But like I said, a lot of coats, a lot of wet sanding, and then we finally got there and it's perfectly smooth. You can't even see the crackle underneath it. It literally is just perfect. Looks like glass, and yeah, like I said, it looks like it came from the factory this way. But other than that, we got it all together. I got it set up, and before we do a little sound demo, I figured I can tell you some things that I changed here. So you may notice it now has a Black Floyd in it. It used to have a chrome ESP, just licensed Floyd. I threw a Floyd 1000 in there. I have it locked in one position, so I can only, you know, bend it down. I can't pull back on it because it is locked. For the pickup, I have a Duncan Solar in there. It's a passive pickup. Yeah, you're probably looking at me like, why would you do that? Those pickups suck. If you've watched any of my solar videos, you know that I love Duncan Solar pickups. It's pretty much one of my favorite passive pickups. Maybe sometimes I'll upgrade it, sometimes sometime later in the future, but honestly, I don't see a reason to, because I absolutely love the way this thing sounds. As soon as I plugged it in and did a couple little chugs on it, it was, I loved it. So we threw that in there. One little cool little custom touch I did is here at the 12th fret. I'll try to get a close-up shot of it. You'll notice it has 2 little green side markers. They were black, just like the rest of them that you see here. I did the little Dan Erlewine trick. You might know him from Stu Mac. You drill out the original markers, fill the holes with CA glue, and then you take whatever colored pencil lead from like a colored pencil, and you know, stick the lead in there, let it dry, and then you know, cut it down, level it off, and sand it, and then seal it, and you get some colored side dots. And let me tell you, it looks like it came that way. And I've done this to a couple guitars, and it's been 4 or 5 years, and it's still absolutely perfect. So it's a cool little trick that you can try. It looks really cool, just a nice little custom touch. As far as the neck shape, we went with a little custom of a neck shape. A while back I had played some old 80s shredder guitar. I think it was like a GTX or something like that. I'm not sure exactly who makes GTX, but it has a flat spot in the center of the neck. I'm not sure what that shape would be considered. If you know, let me know in the comments. But let me tell you, it's super comfortable. Your hand fits around it perfectly, and it just feels great while playing. It's a little bit more dramatic on this guitar than it was on the GTX. I'll try to get it so you can see the shape in the video. Maybe not. I might have to get a close-up. We'll see. Nice little custom touch I did is these wooden back plates. They were actually on the guitar before I did this paint job. I had made them a while back, so I just left them on there because I think it matches the neck really well. We have some strap locks on there. As far as the tuners, they're just the stock ESP tuners. They are chrome, which it's like almost like a black chrome. It's a little bit darker. I wish they were black, but maybe we'll upgrade them at some point. But they work perfectly, nothing to complain about. And then you may notice here we have an ESP logo. Yeah, I'll probably get some crap for that, but I just thought it looked way cooler. And yeah, so it's an ESP Alexi 200, one of a kind. So the paint job on the headstock came out great. I did my little signature like widow's peak thing here on the back of the neck. I've done that on a couple builds, and I just love the way it looks. Did an oil finish on the neck. I don't know if I've mentioned that. We did a little bit of the fret work to make it play a little bit better. It did have some fret issues. It's not perfect, but it's way better than it was. I could probably, you know, take it apart and do a little bit more fret work, but it's enough to get by. Polished the frets up a little bit. We have it in drop A sharp right now with 12 256 gauge strings on it. But man, this thing feels great and it sounds great, what you're about to hear. So let's go ahead and plug it in so you can check it out. All right, so real quick, we're going to do a little demo. I'm going to chug a few random weird things. And yeah, this thing's not made for clean, so we're only going to do distortion. I'm plugged into the Focusrite, and we're using the new Neural DSP Rabia plugin with the Nolly Get Good preset that I made a few little tweaks to and loaded in my own custom IR. So I think it sounds really good. Here we go. Alright guys, well that about wraps this video up and wraps this project up. I'm super happy to get it done. This thing came out absolutely amazing. By far, probably one of my favorite projects I've done. Definitely my favorite paint job and favorite finish job and best finish job. Definitely had a ton of fun on this one. Took a little bit longer than I wanted. I said I wanted to keep the project's videos down to, you know, 2 or 3 episodes. So, you know, we kept it within that time frame. This video is probably a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but hey, that's fine. But super excited to move on to the next project. Not exactly sure what we're going to do next. Maybe redo the headless, or I have that silver solar behind me. And when I got that, it just was a great price and has some great specs. It's a B stock. I didn't really dig the silver that much, but you know, I was able to overlook that just because the specs on it are awesome. So I was thinking maybe do something with that, make it a color that I like a lot more. But who knows, gotta go through all the project guitars laying around and see what exactly I want to do next. But this one was a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing in and keep playing it because it's just a lot of fun to play. But as always, I really appreciate all you guys. If you like these type of videos, maybe think about subscribing. Definitely give the video a thumbs up if you will be so kind. And feel free to leave a comment down below. But as always, stay safe. Be a good person, drink a lot of water if it's as hot as it is here, because it's like well over 100 degrees right now and it's ridiculous. But thanks for watching guys, and we will see you in the next video.